Then we'll do some quick tree cleanup. I'm going to hide the axes and planes so we can see. I'm going to show the crop and punch. I'm going to show the stone. And look at what I got. So obviously, I want this. This is, we'll call it, rename half shank. Okay, the mirror. What is that mirror? I don't know. That mirror is the mirror of the extract UV curve. I no longer need that. I have it buried in my tree. The extract UV curve. No longer need that either. I have it in my tree. Where in my tree? Let's go to my half shank. Down inside it, I have the crop and punch. There's the sweep. There's the extract UV curve, and there's the mirror of that extract UV curve. If I wanted to, I could bring them back as reference objects so I can get them out of the first generation of my tree. So sketch, we're going to call this rename side view. Side view sketch. This mirror is half shank. I'm just going to leave that as mirror. No. This one is half shank. Crop and punch here is rename head. And this mirror is that original curve 1 mirrored across. And I don't need that either. And let's go on a mission and try to find that one real quick. Let's look at the half shank. There it is. Inside the half shank we have Boolean operation, cut and delete, sweep. Yes, there it is. So if I brought a reference object back of that curve, it would show up there. I do not need it, so I'm going to get it out of the first generation. And there we have it. This sketch we're going to call front view. And here's a neat trick. You can't move things around in your tree, and definitely don't try this until you understand exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to delete the half shank. No, I don't want to bring it back. I'm going to delete this. No, I don't want to bring it back. I'm going to delete that. No, I don't want to bring it back. I'm going to delete that. No, I don't want to bring it back. I deleted 4 things. Undo, edit, undo, edit, undo, edit, undo. Okay? Now I have my sketches at the top and the objects in the bottom. Again, don't start deleting stuff and losing your work. But this is a good way that I like to organize my tree. So we'll file save it there. Okay, so coplanar Boolean operations can be problematic. What is a coplanar Boolean operation? Okay, so let's copy this face here. That is a plane, let's say. Now, if I was to mirror this, because it's on 0, if I was to mirror it across the center plane, those surfaces are going to be directly on top of each other. This is coplanar. I'm going to delete these and show you how to save time by avoiding these complicated coplanar Boolean operations. What I do is I choose my half shank and I remove this face there. Now, this mirror of the half shank is, of course, of the solid. So I double click back on it, switch the half shank to the remove faces of the half shank. So now we have 2 open faces. They have to be perfectly matching. We know they are. We choose weld. Weld. Now, just fair warning, just like deleting things from the tree, once you start ripping surfaces off things and making them non-solid, you're creating a whole new world of complications and bad geometries that you can get into. So I'm showing you how to do it because I have to do it right now, but really be careful with this one. But now, if I go to my part doctor, you'll see I will have a true solid. And we'll rename this shank. Save. And we'll get into the head. Alright, so for the head, I have an idea that I want to try. So I'm going to look at my front view, sketch, and I'm going to bring this curve back and double click. go into my sketch, and I'm going to do an offset of it in the outward direction by, let's do, I don't know, 0.8 should give me what I need. Like that. Nice. Going to hide there. Now I'm going to go look at my head, and I'm going to go back in the history all the way back to the revolve. And from the revolve, I'm going to bring back a reference object. And it's going over right here, but I think it's still going to work. So I'm going to keep going forward. So I'm going to do a crop and punch there. But I want to punch this time, actually. So now I have that. I'm going to show my front view plane, and I'm going to do a cut and delete, keeping the front side, keeping other side. And now I'm going to do a copy face, that face right there. Validate, and I can delete that now. So now let me look at my head and see what's going on. Yeah, this is going to work. Perfect. So I'm going to do another really cool tool that's new for V7. It's called UV Wrap and Unwrap. So I'm going to take that face and unwrap it. And you'll see I'm going to put it at 0 just so it's right in the center. Like that. And one thing to notice about UV Wrap and Unwrap, if you see here, this corresponds to this. So this corner on the flat wrap is this corner on the curved surface. I can actually delete the surface now. I don't need it. And I'm going to hide everything except for the UV Wrap and Unwrap. And I'm going to make my last sketch on the top view plane. So now we can see, I'm going to spin it around. What I need to do here is draw a few curves in. We'll go 3-point curves like that. I'll make copies of it. Just 2, keep original, 2 copies. There we go. So now I have 3 curves, and do something like this. And this one we'll bring over to here also. Let me see. I'm going to turn my grid snaps off. Validate. I'm going to bring this up just inside here. And then I'm going to do a alignment. I think it's vertical. I'll tell you in a second. Nope, it will be horizontal. Like so. Validate. And then this one needs to come inside the yellow line. These I have to do all by eyeball. The reason I offset is because I wanted that 0.8 millimeters of purchase. That'll make a lot of sense in a second. The next thing I need to do is add a circle. We'll put a radius of 0.5 millimeter, so we get a 1 millimeter. All right, so now I'm actually going to wrap these curves. I'm going to do it one at a time. 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to sweep them. Just a single rail sweep. Like that. Sweep this one as well. Like so. And lastly, this one. All right, now I'm going to show the head and see if the purchase works the way I want it to. All right, now obviously there's some issues here, so let's take a look at that. We can do the alignment on the sweep, the effect, the alignment. We'll bring it bottom, top, validate. That'll fix it a little bit. Do the same thing here. I should have done this the first time through, guys. It slipped my mind, so I'm going to change it to bottom, up, top. Validate there, and same with this last one. And we'll change it to top again. Cool. It's not perfect, but I'm going to make another adjustment. I'm going to go back into my sketch. I'm going to click on all three curves, and I'm going to move them down ever so slightly on the Z. Let's do -0.1. And that will bring these over slightly, 0.1. Nice. All right, now the bottoms are a bit too long on some of them, so we'll zoom in here, and we'll bring this to there, and this to there. That should probably fix the issue, like that. Recompute. Yeah, that looks good now. The last thing I'm going to do is just go in and add, it's not a big deal, but it's a little detail that I always like to address. I'm going to put a little fillet on there. Let's see if it'll take a 0.5 millimeter. It does not. I'll bring it down to like a 0.2 millimeter. I'll be surprised if it doesn't accept this one. There we go. And we'll do it to the rest. Nice. All right, so I can actually delete all these wraps. I don't need them anymore. They're in my tree. And I'm going to delete the unwrap as well. Don't need that anymore. It's in my tree. And then I'm going to mirror these across, like so. And mirror them across, like so. Looking good. All right, let's look at my shank and see how that matches up. I don't want there to be any space there. That looks good to me. Doesn't look like there's any space. There is not. All right, and we'll save. And I'm going to go in and, kind of fine-tune this head. I'm going to hide all my sketches. Remember that last sketch that I just put in. We'll rename that top view. And hide that sketch. Nice. Next up, we're going to fill it. Grab there, there, and there. We'll put a 0.2 millimeter fillet on those. Should fly. Does fly. Looks great to me. Next up, I'm going to look at my stone. Stone is, I think it's sitting a little low, so I'm going to bring it up just slightly like that. And I'm going to go into my top view. From my top view, I'm going to turn my grid snaps on. And I'm going to put a circle starting at 0 to, let's say, there. I'm going to offset that by 0.7. See if that gives me what I want. Actually, it's a little close to the edge of the stone, so I'm going to change this to radius of 2.8, like that, and then offset it again by 0.7. Yeah, that's much better. So I'm going to leave the sketch, and I'm going to hide the stone, and I'm going to do a crop and punch. Like that. Show the stone. Cool. I'm actually going to take both of these circles and use the move and bring them off the Z. This won't affect my crop and punch to just about there. It's going to make me recompute, but it's not going to change anything about the crop and punch. See, it's still the same. And then from here, I'm going to take these two curves, and I'm going to do an extrusion. We can eyeball it, 0.6. Looks good to me. There we go. I like that. And last thing I want to do is add a chamfer, which is like a fillet, but it has an angle. I'm going to add a chamfer to that inner corner. Let's do 0.3 chamfer, and it'll just cut it like there. Nice. So save, and Boolean. Perfect. Now we have the Boolean operation. We'll rename this head. We have the shank. We have the stone. All right, so let's put some stones on here. I could do channel down the side, but I think I'm going to do pave. The way that I'm going to do it, I will go to my Pave tool, and I'm going to handle collisions. 0.2 is good for me. Test frontiers, that's good as well. And I'm going to set up some symmetry planes. We need to go that way and that way. So I'm going to add plane 1 and add plane 2. The reason I add the front view plane is because it gets sticky. So if I add a stone, let's put a custom diameter. What did we say we were going to use? Wasn't it 2.8? I think, yeah, 2.8. 2.8 diameter, and go in here and hit the plus sign. Boom. So what I mean by sticky is it sticks right in the center of the where the plane is, and the other symmetry plane, put it on that side. So I'm just going to keep I'm going to add some more stones. We'll make 2.5 millimeter probably for the next one. Too big. It'll tell me which one's big when it turns into the little hand. That means I can add another stone like that. So we'll do 2.2 actually for position. Change that to 2.2. Yep, that looks good. And we'll start off from the bottom. We'll go, leave that at 2.2 and hit the plus sign. I want to add some, do like 1.5 being the smallest, probably even a little small, so bring it up to, check that, and bring it up to 1.7. Bring it down, it'll set like there. And the reason I'm going up from both sides is
I want to make sure that I end properly here and end properly at the top, so I can adjust the spaces in between. I have the minimum set at 0.2, but that doesn't mean that I can't go a bit bigger. So add a couple more stones in, bring it down to there. We'll make this 1.8. That was good. Like that. This one can probably be 1.9. That's good too. Add another stone. This one could probably be, we'll check it and turn that one to 2. Bring it down and move that up a little bit. 2.2. Go. This one is 2 millimeter. Add another. Add another 2 millimeter stone there. Check. That seems like a good layout to me. I'm going to validate there. I'm going to actually I'm going to use another Pave to put my prongs in. I've gotten away from using the Pave prong tool. Not that it's not a functional tool, I just prefer doing it this way. It's something that one of our power users from England showed me how to do, and I've just really gotten into it. So what I'll do is I'll set the diameter at 0.8 millimeter, that's the thickness of my prong, and then I will add in the same symmetry plane 1 and 2, and then I'll go to my positions and I will just start off by going 1, 2, like that, all the way down. And you begin to see the ease at which I can place these prongs. And the thing I really like about it is that I can resize them and have every prong be a specific size. It works really well that way. So we'll click on these and just kind of clean up the positioning a touch, like that, like that, like that, like that, and I think I'm pretty happy with this prong. And we'll go ahead and validate there.